Most people don't fail because they don't care enough. They fail because they're trying to solve a capacity problem with effort, and effort has its limits. Willpower feels like control, and it works for a time. You decide more, you push, you put more effort in, but something changes over time, slowly, quietly, and subtly. It's not going to be loud or glaring, and it's definitely not going to be in your face. The negotiations start, you start telling yourself, I'll reset tomorrow, I'll do this. And what often happens is that we blame ourselves for not living up or being able to reach our goal with effort or willpower. Some of the questions that might arise is, am I a bad person? Or am I just not good enough for this? Am I failing because I don't know how to live life? And those are valid questions that we ask ourselves in these moments that feel like failure, but they're not the right question to be asking. It's the wrong one, because when we do face those moments, it's not about our character. It's not about our intelligence. It's not about how well we know ourselves. It's about load. Willpower has its limits, and this can be closely related to muscles. So when we're at the gym or whatever, running, there's a certain limit that we reach as far as reps. I can only do X amount of reps, and when I reach that limit of reps, I can do no more. And another example is attention. I can hold my attention for maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes on a singular thing, and then I get distracted. A notification on my phone goes off. So attention and muscles are just two examples, but even our emotional capacity to handle a situation for long periods of time, or even in the moment, has a capping point. There's a container that those are limited to. And willpower is no different. We can only exert so much effort into the same thing, and eventually our willpower fails. That's because willpower, in this illusion that we can do, works best when life is predictable and stress levels are extremely low. And willpower also works best when our identity is stable. If somebody challenges our identity, the way that we see ourselves, then we typically can't sustain that identity with willpower alone. Control loss and the failure of willpower doesn't happen during calm moments. It doesn't happen when life is just fantastic. It happens when things build up, when pressure builds up, when emotional instability continues for long periods of time, and when we have unresolved pressure. So think about it like a balloon. Let's say a balloon. And this balloon, you start to inject air into the balloon. Eventually, if you don't stop, that balloon is going to pop because it wasn't designed to hold that much pressure. That's the same thing with our willpower. Our willpower has those limits, and they fail, especially during emotional debt or long periods of self-management. What looks like giving up is often a sign of exhaustion finally showing up, finally showing itself. Here's what people miss. When willpower fails, it doesn't mean nothing is working. It doesn't mean what you were trying wasn't working. It doesn't mean that you are an emotionally unavailable or broken person. It just means that the system that you've been operating in has reached a limit. It's reached its ceiling. And instead of switching strategies, what we often like to do is try harder, throw more of it, throw more of ourselves at that situation. And when that doesn't work over and over again, or even the first few times, depending on, who you are, it feels really personal. It does. It feels like I'm a failure if I cannot live up to the standard that I set myself. And this channel exists for that moment. It doesn't exist to motivate you or fix you. It's not here to convince you of anything. It's here to help you reorient in those moments before collapse happens, before the pressure gets too great. It's here to help you resolve some of those challenges that you face in the moment when stress starts to arise. One of the main benefits of this is that when the container for pressure, meaning like when your ability to withstand more stress, more stuff, it creates a bigger opportunity for you to minimize the effects of that and also work through it. When that happens, then our capacity for choice increases. And that is one of the main focuses of this channel, is to help increase your capacity for choice, regardless of the situation, regardless of the pressure that you're facing, the stressors, the emotional imbalance, anything like that. In the next videos, I'll be sharing my experience with that and more focused on how we can increase your ability to choose what you're going to do. I'll really describe how knowing better doesn't change behavior. Insight doesn't help us change trajectories. I'll also share how external structure can support an internal capacity limit. How knowing about yourself or insight doesn't outperform the external structure, and also how stability is built without force, where we don't have to exert ourselves so much and burn up so much energy and lose clarity. Just because we make a decision doesn't mean that our behavior is going to change. And these are some things that I'm going to unpack, and I'm not going to do it all at once. I'm not going to do it very aggressively. It's going to be very slowly, in a digestible way, and in increments. So if you're here because control or willpower stopped working, and you seem to react to situations without consulting insight or self-knowledge, then you're in the right place. And if you do those things, it doesn't mean that you're a failure and you're broken. It just means that you might need an external structure to help support you along the way and increase your capacity for choice. When you do have that awareness and that clarity, then you can start rebuilding and you can evolve how you want. I'm never going to tell you what decisions you have to make and what choices you have to follow. I want to help you create a space so that you can make those decisions, whatever you choose to. So when we can increase our capacity for choice, then rebuilding begins.